I'm joined by Tom Pashley, the president of the Pinehurst Resort. It is so good to see you. I have to ask you, Tom, I'd ask you how you're doing anyway, but this week, are you getting any sleep?
Last night, not so much. I had visions of the World Golf Hall of Fame inductees bouncing through my head. It's an incredible week, and I don't need a lot of sleep. I'm on adrenaline.
It's so cool. And the ceremony for the World Golf Hall of Fame induction, I assume you feel the same way. It represented so much more. I mean, it was in its own right, it's incredible. Being here right now where we are at the Carolina Hotel, you can see people coming and going behind us. Everywhere you turn, there's a Hall of Fame. Tom Kite having coffee over here. Pat Bradley going for workout at the gym. Executives Jay Monahan was getting coffee this morning. Seth Waugh walked by on his way to the gymnasium. It's incredible what you have assembled. And it kind of takes us, I want to go back a few years. Your vision about being the architect of bringing all this together, there's got to be some point where you're scratching your head saying, man, I can't believe the path we're on.
There's a little bit of that. A lot has come true. And you sit on this porch of the Carolina Hotel, and just like you said, the world of golf will pass through Pinehurst if you stay here long enough. And now that we've got a World Golf Hall of Fame, yeah, I saw Tom Kite in the coffee shop. Lanny Watkins was in there. It's incredible. And it's a return to glory. And I think, we've always been about history and tradition. And now we've added more innovation and more fun, but it's great when you see the Hall of Famers here and you realize what a special place Pinehurst is. We've always said the St. Andrews of American golf, and I think it's really kind of come true now.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It feels like the St. Andrews of American golf. The class that's here, the dignity that's here, the history that's here. And it's not just about golf, believe it or not, which is odd to say that when we're talking about Pinehurst and our site for the U.S. Open. It's all these things. For a lot of you that are putting together bucket list dream travel locations, think about the spa. Maybe you have a spouse that he or she doesn't play golf at all, and there's a million things to do here. The village stands out as unique. You have so many different things, but what I guess I was alluding to before too, Tom, in being so incredibly proud of you and the Pinehurst Resort is you don't rest on your laurels. There's always something new.
People are coming here from all over the world. We have a lot of repeat guests, and we love to surprise them with something new. And it's funny, you talk about Pinehurst has changed a lot over the last 20 years. And if as an outsider, I'd be like, hold on a minute, don't change anything. I love Pinehurst the way it is. But all of the change that we've made, whether it be the Cradle, Thistledew Putting Course, Pinehurst Brewing Company, it's all been additive. Much has been added while nothing has been lost. And so,
well put.
And we're fortunate to be owned by a family, the Dedman family, who have a long-term vision of what they want Pinehurst to be. They're not, short-term thinkers. They're in this for the long haul. They've owned Pinehurst since 1984. So their vision and their patience has allowed us to do some of this long-term planning that you're just now beginning to see the fruits of that labor.
Now, for those of you that are watching us, obviously you're watching a golf show from wherever you are around the globe. You guys have added to the portfolio the golf courses here that are all majestic and really fun. If you're planning a trip to the Pinehurst Resort, I would encourage you to try some of the courses that you might not have thought about right out of the gate. You'd be amazed at the quality of golf that you're going to find. But you have now a new offering in the mix.
9 wasn't enough. Who knew? We're in double digits now. Pinehurst number 10. Opened in April, Tom Doak's golf course, 4 miles from here. And it's a beautiful complement to what we already have. Number 2, and everybody will see this week, the repellent nature of those turtleback greens. And the fun thing about number 10, one, it's a lot of elevation change, a lot of width off the tee. But then these green complexes, there's 9 of them that have a portion of the green that feeds the ball more towards the hole. So you get the ball on the ground, you get it rolling. It's not going to be ricocheting violently away from the green. It might actually get fed a little bit more towards the hole. And so, you want variety when you take a golf trip, when you go to a destination like this. And number 10, I think, is now adding a lot of variety to the Pinehurst golf offerings.
Absolutely love that. Of course, we were here a few years ago talking about number 4 as well. And number 4 has its own unique merits. To an extent, you actually arguably have multiple golf courses that could pretty much host whatever they wanted to. Is that fair?
Number 4 was a co-host of the U.S. Amateur in 2019. The final round, the final 36-hole round, they played the morning match on number 4, the afternoon match on number 2. So, yes, we do have championship golf between number 2, number 4, number 8, number 10. It's a lot of numbers here at Pinehurst. But then there's fun golf as well. The Cradle, number 3, you mentioned play the other courses. Number 3 is a
Yeah.
5,200-yard golf course. It's got the turtleback greens. It's short enough to tempt you into doing some silly things that, you have a hero opportunity, or you might snap at OB. So yeah, there's just a lot of variety, and we're seeing people coming in record numbers, and they're loving it.
I love to hear that they're coming in record numbers too. Just before we move on from, because you mentioned the Cradle a couple of times, in case there's somebody watching from wherever they are, could you explain to us what the Cradle is and why you did it?
Yeah, the Cradle is a 9-hole short course. That the word that you think of is fun. The Cradle is all about fun. It's a great place for beginners. It's a great place for families. It's also a great thing for a scratch player to see what they can do. So it's a 9-hole. It takes about an hour to play. You could take 3 clubs. 60 yards is the shortest hole. 120 is the longest. And so you just go out there with a smile on your face. We have a little turn stand, a bar at the 3rd hole, and you come back at the 8th hole. We play music. People play barefoot sometimes. And so the Cradle, I think, did as much to redefine who Pinehurst is as anything. But with trophies and plaques, we're a place that you can take yourself really seriously. But the Cradle is a place you go and have fun. And I think the Cradle has done more, like I said, to redefine fun at Pinehurst than anything we've ever done.
When I was talking to Tom Kite this morning, and I'm not trying to name drop, they're everywhere because the Hall of Fame, and he was saying something to me that I thought that was really interesting, which speaks to your vision. He said having a Hall of Fame here now is different. It's not a destination that you have to go to. You're at your destination. It's Pinehurst Resort, and maybe you play your round of golf. Maybe it's before you go and play the Cradle and kick off the shoes or the flip-flops, or after. But the Hall of Fame is right there. Why not take a couple of hours and tour through it? I just love the way that he was presenting that as what a perfect way to spend a couple hours in the afternoon. I mean, it just makes perfect sense.
Yeah. It's from the Carolina Hotel to the country club is about a half a mile, and the Hall of Fame sits between the two. And so it is on the flight path, if you will, of the golf journey when you come to Pinehurst. And so, yes, there's hundreds of thousands of golfers who come to this area. And I love what he said. It doesn't have to be a destination now. You come, and it's just an enhancement to your stay that you already had planned. And so we're excited to have it right here on our campus. I think they did a great job with the lockers, the memorabilia. You could spend half an hour there, or if you spent 5 minutes on each locker, you could spend the whole day.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous. I love
beautiful.
what they did.
Now I'm gonna hopefully you can see it in the monitors we have here, because we are broadcasting obviously live outside. But I want to run some video of Pinehurst number 2, because we've had so many occasions, honored to have had your presence and talk about number 2 from the early days of the Core Crenshaw renovation to where we stand now. Could you talk about the golf course in terms of its growth, its development, and it as a stage for the U.S. Open?
Yeah, it has really evolved a lot. Before Core Crenshaw did it, all that sandy wiregrass area that you're seeing might have been just manicured Bermuda grass, and it gave the player a very predictable situation if they missed the fairway. Now, and especially as it's evolved, if you miss the fairway, you have a 250 to a 330-yard walk filled with suspense, wondering what you're going to find. Is it going to be a hard pan green light, or are you going to be hovering 2 inches above the ground in a wiregrass plant? There's a lot of randomness to it. And it truly is, it's beautiful to look at. It's the sandhills of North Carolina, the scrubby pine forest that Ross found when he came here. And so I think in 2014, the last U.S. Open, it was new. The plantings hadn't really matured. Now there's been a lot of maturation. The additional grasses that are in there have matured. And so it just is a very unique, and it's a very Pinehurst style of golf, and we're super proud of it.
That Pinehurst style of golf, of course, has been demarcated as an anchor site for the U.S. Open. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to the resort to know that you're going to have the U.S. Open here of whatever variety, men's or women's, moving forward?
There's so many things to it, Matt. The first thing I thought of, as you said it, is we're going to have a different champion basically for every generation of golfers. My son is 17. He loved Ricky Fowler when Ricky played here in 14. But who's going to win in 24 and 29, 31? There's going to be a champion for every generation that's going to be growing up, and they're going to have a reason to aspire to come to Pinehurst. That's one. It's also validation of our stature in golf and what Pinehurst means to the golf world. We've talked about St. Andrews a lot, but to have a British Open every 5 years, the presence of the R&A, Old Tom Morris, the old course. Now we have Donald Ross, Pinehurst number 2, the Hall of Fame. a U.S. Open every 5 years. It's really gratifying. And we can also make some really long-term decisions in partnership with the USGA. We can make some investments.
Mhm.
When they bring an Open to an anchor site, they want it to be the best experience possible. So we're going to make investments for fan experience, player experience, sponsor experience, to really make it a great experience for all.
To that point, when we go behind the curtains of an event of this stature, you need buy-in from state government, you need it from the local municipalities, you guys need it from the volunteers, you need it obviously from the village. How has that been, bringing all those hands together at the same table?
You know, that is what set us on this track in 1999. Everybody showed up, everybody supported it, and each opportunity we get to work with the USGA on a championship, that whole state of North Carolina pulls together and makes it special. So I think that is kind of our secret formula, really, is the amount of support we get from everyone involved is incredible. And I don't think they see that necessarily everywhere they go.
Sure.
This is a golf community. That's what makes it so special.
And that's kind of that connection between the St. Andrews of the United States when it comes to golf. It's perfect. And I should say, when it even goes beyond golf. Let's go to that point. Let's sell the dream for a second. There are people watching us, and there will be millions, and it will reach billions over the course of the next week, that are going to see this and go, I got to go there. I want to go there. Could you talk to us about, you gave us a little sliver of it when we talked about the Cradle, but what the experience is like to come here either with your spouse, or come here with a buddy trip, or come here with a larger group?
Yeah, what we hear from people is they didn't realize how turnkey it is. You know, it's so convenient. 5 golf courses start from one clubhouse, and the Cradle is there as well. So you can go to one place, spend your whole trip there, or if you're going to go out to number 8 or number 10, it's just a 15-minute shuttle ride. Yeah, and so it's a turnkey experience that's low stress. People come here oftentimes on a buddy trip, and then they see the spa, they see the village, and say, wow, I could come here with my family. I didn't realize you had all of this stuff. And so that's when a light bulb goes off. People also see a charming town with residents and homes, and they begin to dream about, man, maybe I could actually retire here. So it is a wonderful destination. I've been here 28 years, as you know. We love it, and it's great to see more and more people discovering it, and people are beginning to move here and enjoy it for themselves. We've got 70 employees of the USGA who've moved here, and it's neat to see them really embrace the community.
That is awesome. What's the best way for people to get information on the Pinehurst Resort to plan their own?
Yeah, they go to pinehurst.com, follow us on Instagram. We're putting out some amazing content this week on Instagram. Please give us a look. Golf is booming right now, but we've got availability this fall. We'd love to see your listeners and viewers.
There you go. Availability this fall, and planning ahead too, because I know a lot of you like to have some time to let this thing breathe and plan it all out. They will work with you to do the same, as Tom was talking about. However much time you have, whatever courses you want to play, as well as things like dinner reservations and more, that spa appointment that we were alluding to, whatever it is that suits your fancy, you can find it right here at the Pinehurst Resort. This week, of course, we're finding it as the host site for the 124th U.S. Open. Tom, incredibly proud of you and proud of what you guys have done and the vision that you have and the direction that you're taking all of this. It's really, really impressive and super exciting.
Thank you. You've seen it change and evolve, and thank you for supporting us along the way.
Yeah, so you guys can too. Pinehurst.com is where Tom told you can log on. You can get all of the information, find them on the social channels as well, and follow accordingly. Alex Podlegar is right over there. He's the guy that populates all that stuff too, so they can keep you up to speed. We'll be back with more live from the Pinehurst Resort this week of the U.S. Open. Tom, thank you.
Yeah.